Yep.
We're holding a Siman Shin Tezayin, Seif Yud Aleph. So at the end of Seif Yud, the Chabad was speaking about a Chayev Remes Shem Leishchenu Amisin, ones that kill. So the Mechaber says, if it's not running after you, then Mutal Darsal Lefi Tumoy, you'll have to step on them. Lefi Tumoy means
without
intention.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean here without intention. Here it's with intention.
Yeah.
Even if you have a mind to do it, you're making believe that you're not doing it intentionally. You're making believe you're doing it unintentionally.
How can you do something not intentionally by doing intentionally?
You're making believe. You make believe you're doing it not intentionally.
Person who's watching doesn't realize it.
Doesn't mean they're doing it for that reason. That's the end of Seif Yud. So Seif Yud Aleph is a similar halacha, and that's how it comes into this siman. So
we couldn't figure out what the connection is, but that's the connection with Messiah.
That's the connection. Yeah. That's the connection. That's why it's being down over here.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense what this is doing here.
Yeah. We'll see the Lichtenstien in a second. It speaks about it. So lo yishav sheif b'ragloi roik, a person should not rub with his foot. Roik is spit al gabi a karka that was underground, and you want to get rid of it. It shouldn't be there anymore. Mishum the mashve gumois, because by doing that, being mashve gumois means you're smoothing out the holes in the ground, and that's an issa of binding. So now they're smoothing out the ground on Shabbos. So by being mishafshef, by rubbing in the roik into the ground, you're going to end up smoothing out the ground, which is also on Shabbos. Have a mutal adorsoi, lefi tumoy. You're allowed to step on it. Lefi tumoy means unintentionally. She'einoi mischaven l'mareach v'lahashbois gumois. It means he's allowed to do it only if he doesn't have a mind to rub it into the ground. He's allowed to walk on it and step on it, but he's not allowed to intentionally rub it into the ground. Even though it ends up happening that it's going to be smoothing out the ground, if he doesn't have a mind to do it, it's mutter, because it is most. People are disgusted by it. So in the Mokum Mius, Chazal will make all, they're allowed to go ahead and walk on it and end up pushing it into the ground, even though you may end up being mashed with gumois, still it's mutter mishum yisusa. That's the Mechaber. So if we look at the Lichtenstien over here, on the Shulchan Aruch Seif Yud Aleph, he says, Lo yishav sheif, Mokrem din zeh, b'simen zeh. What does this halacha have to do with this siman? Mishum the domi l'sif ha'koidim. It's similar to the Seif beforehand. The B'shneihem hitiru lidrois lefi tumoy. Both of them we allow you to be doiris, to step on it, lefi tumoy, which means unintentionally. Ub'shas gamkein medama lahu, and the shas also when medama it one to the next. Both of them umata lefi tumoy. Mekamokoim yesh chilik. The b'siv zeh lo yishari ib b'mischavin. So he says there's a difference between the Seif before and then this Seif. In this Seif, we're not matter b'mischaven where he's doing it on purpose, but he's just making believe he's doing it unintentionally. At the end of Seif Yud, we said mutal lidros lefi tumoy v'afilu b'mischaven, even though you're doing it on purpose. Over here it says mutal lidros lefi tumoy she'einoi mischaven, only if you're not doing it intentionally. So there's a chiluk between Seif Yud and Seif Yud Aleph. The truth is that it's a machlokes rishonim. The Gemara is not machalik. The Gemara says both of them. It's mutal lidros lefi tumoy. It's machlokes in the rishonim what it means lefi tumoy. Rashi and the Ran. Rashi holds lefi tumoy means ve'einoi mischaven. You're doing it. You're walking. You don't have intention to do that. You're allowed to step on it and push the roik into the ground. You're allowed to step on the animal and kill the animal only with einei mischaven. That's Rashi. The Ran argues, and the Rad says, no, you could do it bim mischavin, but making believe that you're not mischavin. So machlokes how to learn the Gemara. So it's interesting, the Mechaber over here, the Beis Yosef, what he does is, he makes a split. By the case of the Chayiv Remes, Sheba Misin, he learns like the Ran, and in this Seif he learns like Rashi. So in the first Seif he learns you're allowed to do it, bim mischavin, as long as you're making believe that you're not being mischavin to do it. In Seif Aleph is only matter to do it by einay mischavin.
So intent means nothing. Because the intention really is to smooth it out.
So it depends. In Seif Yud, correct.
Then you don't.
In Seif Aleph it means it means beinay mischavin. You don't have intent to go ahead and smooth it out.
According to Sifir Aleph, you have to look where you're stepping so you don't step on it, or?
Sifir Aleph?
Yeah.
No, that you don't have to do. You're allowed to walk. You're allowed to walk as long as you don't have a mind to do that. You don't have to be careful not to step on it. That's the heter over there. Even though you know you may end up being mashma gumois, the Shomer Susa will make that you don't have to be careful to make sure you don't step on it. So that's the Sif. If you look in the Sif Kon Chavdal, the Magen Avram, Agabe Karka, Mashma Agabe Ritzpe Shari. It's only Agabe Karka. Agabe Karka means on ground where it's dirt. Mashma Agabe Ritzpe Shari, on Ritzpe means a tiled floor. It's mutter to step on roik and to smoothen it out, to make sure that you don't see it anymore. The Divrei Hamatirim Kibud B'Merutzif. Ayin Simishun Amazayin Sif Beis. Here's how machlokes with sweeping in a house. Halacha is over there, if you're not allowed to sweep on an earthen floor, because it will be mashma gumois. But on a floor that's tiled, so there is the machlokes. They make a gzeira, you're not allowed to sweep on a tiled floor, up you may end up coming to sweep on a non-tiled floor. So the Mechaber says it's mutter, the Ramah says it's aser for making gzeira. So here he's saying the ma'aser for us anyway it's mutter because it's only when most of the houses are not tiled. Today everything is tiled, so today there's no way to sweep in your house on Shabbos. Of course in your backyard where it's dirt, you're not allowed to sweep. But the gzeira doesn't apply today. But over there is a machlokes Mechaber the Ramah in a place where a lot of the houses are not tiled. So if you're allowed to sweep in a tiled house.
What about your deck? Does that make a difference? That could be backyard, it's in backyard.
No, only if it's dirt. Only if it's dirt. If there's no dirt, if it's tiled, that's mutter.
Tile or wood.
No, but there's no gzeira.
With wood it's okay.
Yeah.
But even with tile, there's tiles that are 12 by 12, and then there's grout in between and another tile.
So grass not a problem because you're not being mashma gumois. Everything is smooth. You're not going to be mashma gumois. Only in dirt if you're mashma gumois.
What if the tile? And there are tiles. I have them in my house that have little indentations. They're not smooth.
Yeah, but that's not mashma gumois because those indentations are permanent.
You're not moving them around.
Yeah, they're permanent. You're not making an indentation. That's not called smoothing.
You're putting dirt into the indentation.
That's not called a shvui gumois. No. It's not that it's like filling up a cup or something. It's not called a shvui gumois.
It's trying to get out
it's the opposite of what you want. In other words, these tiles were designed to have the holes in it, right? In the mashma gumois, the principle is that you want to make it
smooth. Yeah.
So it's the exact opposite of
opposite of this case, correct. Fine. So it says that we're telling that machlokes agabe safsel with kula al-mashari, but on top of a bench, everyone's masking is mutter. So now the Magen Avram, it's the famous Magen Avram. It's not really in the Siman that talks about it, but he says it over here. The litzah mishum miruach atzmai. Now the Mechaber, if you look at the Mechaber says, the whole issur in the Mechaber is Hashvui Gumois. There's something called miruach, smoothing something, making it flat, is also an issur of Shabbos. Right? Anytime you take a cream, you want to smear it, you smoothen it, that's called miruach, and it's also because of miruach. Toothpaste, right? You smear toothpaste on your toothbrush. The issur of that is miruach. So asks the Magen Avram, so over here you may not have a shvui gumois, But what happened to this of miruach? You're smoothing it. As you're putting it on the ground, you're smoothing the roik into the ground. The Yeshloim answers the Mogen Avram, the Memareach lo shayach elo k'shekavanosai sheyismareach davar al gabe chaveroi. Miruach is only when you want to smear something and smoothen it out on top of another object. Aval hacha roitze sheyivla b'karka. Here you want it to be absorbed in the karka. You don't want to smear it, smoothen it out on top of another object. You want to take it away. You want to smear it. You want to push it into the ground, and now there shouldn't be any more of the roik on top of the ground. That's not called miruach. Miruach is only when you're smearing something and you want it to be there and you want it flat. But if you don't want it to be there, that's not called miruach. If you want it to get absorbed, it's not called miruach, which is a very big heter.
So what's this case of the safsal?
No, safsal is a heter because going back in the shaila of, even though you hold it to the zera, you can't do it on a karka merutzif, but on a safsal everyone holds you could do it. Because a safsal is not zera.
Would this man and everyone make an aftermina between how you look at putting creams on your body?
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
We'll get that in a second. Yeah, that's a big aftermina. Big aftermina. Yes, the head of safsal is just coming to say there's no zera of merutzif. Everyone agrees on top of a bench you're allowed to do it.
Creams you want.
Even though we're making zera merutzif out of any merutzif, but a safsal we don't.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mishnah Berurah brings down this heter also, or the Mogen Avram, no one's chaylik on it. So it would come out from this Mogen Avram, the whole Mitzvah Miruach is only when you have a cream, that the cream stays on top. You smear it and it stays on top. But any cream they rub into the body, and it gets absorbed in the body, there won't be an Issa Miruach, according to the Mogen Avram. So if you smear the cream on Shabbos, let's leave refuah aside. Let's say it's no Issa refuah. But you smear the cream on Shabbos, and you want it to get absorbed in the body, it's mutter. There's a Issa Miruach. Oils and stuff like that, if not for the fact of refuah, it's mutter. So a lot of creams that we have today, they smear in the body.
You want it to be absorbed.
You want it to be absorbed in the body. It's not a miruach. It's a mistake that people make.
But that's a Mogen Avram. Does everybody hold it?
Everyone holds like the Mogen. No chalkim. There's no chalkim on the Mogen Avram. So any cream you want to smear on your hands, and someone tells us, and let's say it's not an issue refuah, then it's mutter to do it if it absorbs into the hand. But if it's you smear it and you want it to be on top, which is very few creams that are that way. If someone has a wound and wants to smear on top of it some ointment, it doesn't absorb into the body. That maybe is awesome.
Like a diaper cream.
Like a diaper cream, right?
Diaper.
A diaper cream, even though a diaper cream also you really want it to absorb in the body, no?
No,
It depends.
no, you want it as a barrier.
If there's an infection, you maybe want it to absorb like that kind of thing. But most other things are like barriers, and you want it just to protect.
So that would be awesome.
That would be awesome, right?
That would be awesome. That's miruach, because you want it to stay on top. That's awesome. But anything you want to absorb into the body is mutter.
And you still have the problem of refuah, right?
Yeah, let's leave refuah aside for now.
Yeah.
That's our question. What's considered refuah? Someone has chapped hands. If someone puts cream on a daily basis on his hands, shouldn't get chapped hands. A lot of places will tackle refuah. That's preventing. A lot of puts cream in your hands, shouldn't get chapped hands. So someone wants to smear cream on his hands because he has chapped hands. Does it every single day? He smears cream on his hands. His hands shouldn't dry out. The Chayv point is mutter to do it on Shabbos. For such cream, you don't want it to be on top.
And you know in the refuah.
It's not called a refuah, so it's mutter to do it on Shabbos. It's good to come out. You have to ask your local competent Orthodox rabbi. I'm not passing it, but according to this, a cream would be mutter to smear on Shabbos. The only question that may be is refuah. Someone may say that's called refuah. But if someone's going to tell you it's also because of miruach, then don't ask him a question again for Shabbos, because the first Mogen Avram, it says that it's mutter. Okay, Dr. Mogen Avram weiter. It's interesting. It's over here in a side place. in the Shin Tezayin, and you won't find this Magen Avram in Shin Chav Ches, where he talks about refuah. Kasum Aril, Mutter Lahamed Ragav Olav Avash Leishafshe, if you let to stand in it, as long as you don't rub it into the ground, also then it is mutter. He says the Magen Avram Vayta Sif Kon Chafhem Mishum Yisusa, nearly the Idna the Leket the Kapet Bereik, people that are not makbid on Reik Mishum Yisusa, Zohar Shalai Yishafshe, if you have the Hetek Shaderis Olav, Befesh Zel Kavonas Maril, Avalecha Yetz Min HaPeh, comes out of the mouth, I mean a chaytim from the nose, Vada Ike Mishum Yisusa, Veitaknashis Afula Bereik Shari Einstein and Tzadi Sif Gimel. Today the person can say everything is moist, any reik is moist. So Tzaterim, even though today it's not really the gay of the Shiloh, because they never have it on an earthen ground in the house. So anyway, the Shiloh is not really Negaya, but Misusa is by all types of reik today.
It's shaykh to the Lubavitch when they daven, they say Aleinu when they spit.
Right, but that's the Gabarizpa.
Yeah, so it's
if they're davening outside.
Lubavitch when they say Aleinu, they spit.
They spit on carpet too.
Yeah, carpet and I guess if they're davening
carpet is not
outside,
really
if they're davening outside on Shabbos,
no, but it's mius.
Mius, yeah. Sounds like mius. Yeah.
She was not their own house.
Yeah, they always come to shul.
They're at Magali.
Say Aleinu at home.
Okay, Sifyud Beis. So Sifyud Beis, a little hakdam of Sifyud Beis. We're talking about here domesticated animals. So till now we had a whole similar at Issad Seder, and we're talking about animals that are not domesticated. But animals that are domesticated, there's a heter. Now, there's different levels. We'll see in the Shulchan Aruch, we'll see in the Mishnah Berurah here. There's different levels of what domesticated means, or what is domesticated. So you have a regular animal that's not domesticated. That's a regular. It's a deraisa. Then there's two levels of domesticated animals. One level it's called chayzir l'kolvam. They go back to their cages at night. They return home every single night, but during the day they're out, they're running around. That's what the Mechaber here is speaking about at Sifyud Beis. You have animals that run out of the house, but at night they're chayzir l'kolvam, and we'll see them in the Sharatzi. You may have to have something else also, which is called Mizayin Sehem Malacha. They rely on you for food. So if they rely on you for food, they're definitely going to come back at night. So therefore, they're animals that are considered trapped. They're considered already already trapped. That's the Mechaber. The Ramah is going to argue in that. The Ramah holds that no, even though the chayzir will call them at night, even though they come back at night, but at day when they're running around, if you capture them on Shabbos, there's an Issad Seder. That's what the Ramah is going to say. We'll see soon. There's another level of animals, which Mr. Brewer is going to speak about, is animals that, even by day, you sit down with them, they come to you, they sit on your lap, they don't run away from you. You can easily get a hold of them. Those animals is no Issad Seder b'chlal. Such animals that don't run away from you, they come to you all the time, they're already nitzayt v'oimdim, they're already considered as if they're captured, because you don't have to run after them, they're going to come to you. So those are mutter. So practically most of the pets that people have in the house are such animals. The only one that's not maybe is a bird. Someone has a bird in the house, you open up the cage, it's hard to get a hold of them sometimes, you have to get them back into the cage. So we'll get to that soon.
And if you go to a place where there is a person who has a dog, and now because you came in, you have the owner has to lock him in the room. Is it called like because of you they did the Seder?
No, if the dog always comes to you, doesn't run away from you, it's not called Seder.
No, he comes to the owners of the guys, but if there is a guest...
It's not called Seder.
No.
If it comes to you, it's not called Seder. So let's see the Mechaber.
What did we say about the first category?
What's the first category? Yeah. that it's
Chayzer l'Kolman.
Chayzer l'Kolman is a machlokes mechaber normal. Let's see now. Chayzer l'Kolman at night is a machlokes mechaber normal. That's what the mechaber is speaking about. Says the mechaber, Chayav v'oiv shebereshusai, an animal and a bird shebereshusai, mutar l'tzaydam, you're allowed to capture them on Shabbos. V'hu shalayim roivu. It's only if they didn't do a merida, they didn't rebel.
Protest.
If they rebel, that means they're not coming back to it anymore. They're running away. So they're like a regular animal that wasn't nitzed v'oimid. We're talking about as long as they didn't rebel. Aval and heim moridim, if they rebelled, also l'toifsam, you're now allowed to grab them. Afilu b'chatzir, even in the chatzir, the machatzir gadol, shem loy gadol, bein b'nei adam ha'y tzrichem etzudah. Which we had about in the beginning of the Siman, that even though it's a big, if it's a small chatzir, then there's no tzeidah anymore. Anyway, then it's tzeidim v'oimdim. It's only a big chatzir where you can't get them b'shchiyah achas and one chase, then there's an issa tzeidim. So that's the mechaber. Hagar, v'yesh oimrim the aser lotzur chayiv v'oiv shebereshusai. Some people say it's aser, even though it's chayzer l'kolva. V'imsadon potter, and if you capture them, you are potter to issa d'rabbanan. So the mechaber doesn't really speak out much about chayzer l'kolva. Let's see the Mishnah Berurah over here. I'm not going to learn the long Magen Avram here because he brings Gemara back and forth. Person get confused. Mishnah Berurah sets it up very nicely. So if you look at the Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Nun Beis, Chayiv Oiv Shebereshusai Koil Kol Minei Balachayim Shehergelam B'Bayis B'Nasa B'nei Tarbus. They're regular, they're rogal to be in the house, and they become B'nei Tarbus means trained. They're on the way. Mutter Haina Aftulah B'Chutz. Even outside you're allowed to capture them. This is according to the Mechaber. V'hatam kivin shehem b'nei tarbus v'hurgu v'vayis v'meila yachazru lebeisam ba'erev. They'll come back in the evening to the house. V'noyach b'toifsam. I don't have to do anything to capture them. They're coming back in the evening, so they're already considered captured. V'chein af k'sheyotzim min habayis harei hen ki nitzaydim v'oyimdim v'ashayach b'am tzaydah. Therefore, even though when they leave the house, they consider the tzaydah v'oyimdim. Now, if you want to go ahead and capture them now, you may have a hard time. You may have to chase them by day. Still, the Mechaber holds, since at night they're coming back anyway, so they're considered captured. They're under your shlita already because at night they're going to come back to your house.
Even during the day when they're out and about.
Even during the day when they're outside, yeah. Correct. That's the Mechaber. If you look in the Sharatzian over here, Sif Katan Pei Beis, Came Muchach Rabeya, Betiris the Mary Varan and Shafrushim, to the Tam Zel Amikra Tzeidah. Ochein, V'rosh Nisker Hateretz, Rishai, the Tali, the Mezonoisen Alecha. The Rosh says it also depends if they rely on you for food. If they rely on you for food, then they come back to get their food. According to the Rosh, if they get their own food by day, even though they return at night, it's not called the Tzeidim V'oimdim.
So he says you need both.
Yeah. So the question is what the Sharatzi means over here. Is it coming to say that we pass like the Rosh? That has to be Mizan Nesecha Alecha also, or not? That's the question. Now, the truth is, in the animals we have in the houses, it's not so negay, the Shaila really. Because any animals we have in the house is on the Nesecha Alecha. A guy has a cat, a guy has a dog, a guy has a guinea pig, whatever it is, the owner is feeding them. Maybe some people who own farms, and they let out the animal during the day, they come back at night and they graze during the day, there it's not Mizan Nesecha Alecha, they take care of their own food. So then maybe you would have to come onto the Sharatzian's Chumrah that there is considered Seder. But most of the animals that we have today in our house are considered Mizan Nesecha Alecha.
But even in a farm where they may be grazing outside, but it's in your rishus that you let them out into the whatever.
Saying if they wouldn't have food, you would have to give them food. Yeah. So it's still comes in a second halacha. Let's say it's in the winter, there's no grazing, there's no food in. So they come inside and you feed them. Maybe that's comes in a second halacha.
So is the question here, how does the Mishnah Berurah hold?
Yeah, because the Mishnah Berurah brings down the Rosh and the Sharatzin.
Right.
Does it mean he's passing with the Rosh, the Hassan is on a second Lech or not?
So here he brings down in Taf Tzadik Zion, not sure where that would be, but it's probably in the Chos Yom Tov.
Yeah.
Right? There he brings down, the Mishnah Berurah brings down
the Rosh.
Rosh. Right.
So if that's the case, there's Mashman passions that way. If he brings down the Mishnah Berurah, that means he passes that way. Okay? So the Mishnah Berurah talking paskins, but you have to have both.
He says that the Mishnah Berurah Sham
Okay, so then according to Mishnah Berurah, you have to have both. You have to have Sai Chayzu V'Kolvam to come back to the cage, and Sai is in the second Lech. Fine. Let's say done. Says the Mishnah Berurah over here, you're not allowed to take them in your hands. You're called Balachayim HaMuktzim. Balachayim HaMuktzah Ela Roidif Oisa Mach Yechichnesu V'Mokum Tzar V'Leil B'Chneim. You're allowed to chase them to get into a little place and then close the door. But to be metaltal b'yadayim is also. You're called Balachayim HaMuktzim.
So does that mean that the Mishnah Berurah sides with the Mechaber? He argues on the Ramah?
No, he's explaining the Mechaber.
He's explaining the Mechaber, but he's poskening, as we're saying, like the Rosh. In other words,
in the Mechaber, in the Ramah, it won't help. Any of them won't help. In the Ramah, none of them will help.
Right,
yeah,
so
none of them will help. We'll see soon. Even according to the Ramah, but certain times we would make like the Mechaber. So for those cases, you'll need to have the Rosh also.
So the Mishnah Berurah is not saying Pshat in. He's saying Pshat in the Mechaber. You need both of those, but the
Ramah is not going to help. Yeah, the Ramah is not going to help.
Okay.
It's not going to help. Yeah. Yeah, this is halacha. I mean, we spoke about it so many times, but I keep on seeing that people are not makbeh. They're not sure why. Balachayim HaMuktzah. Animals are muktzah on Shabbos. Dogs, pets, whatever you have. The muktzah on Shabbos, you're not allowed to touch them. I see it all the time. From you carrying dogs or playing with them, it's muktzah. There's no hatter to touch them on Shabbos. I'm not sure where.
We said before that touching muktzah is not an issue, but with animals, is it an issue?
Because usually, the question is when you're touching on your pen and you're moving the hair of the animal, we spoke this.
So even a tiny
tilted
movement of any of the part of the animal might be.
Right.
Let's say if you touch the nose or something, just go like, oh, hello, little dog, you just tap it.
And it didn't move?
It didn't move, then it'll be okay.
Then it'll be okay.
Petting, how could you touch it without
moving?
moving?
Yeah, you're petting, usually you move it. Tilted b'miktzas, we had then Shinches.
Right.
Tilted b'miktzas, maybe a heter, b'mokum tzar b'lachayim, maybe mutter. But Stam is right, to go ahead to play with the animals, I don't, there's no heter. There's no heter. It's a big choice that people make. I have a neighbor that has a dog, and I was doing carpool with the kid once, and the kid was saying to them, as a dog, like to play, and I said, play with them on Shabbos? I said, yeah. I said, no, it's muktzah. I said, no, they feed the dog on Shabbos, so it's not muktzah. Like, I don't know. I said, who told you that? That's what the neighbor told me. So the second halacha is I had to do mentality. Along the person over here. Along the Sham Oretz. Yeah, there's no heter at all to be mentality balachayim.
So there's like kind of no heter to grow a dog at home.
To what?
To grow a dog or any pet at home, because at the end you need to feed him on Shabbos and you need to.
You have to feed him on Shabbos.
Yeah, but you need to take him out.
And you can't give metal to them. You cannot be metal to them on Shabbos. You want an animal? Fine. Don't
only
be
Sunday to Friday.
Yeah, and you have to also have metal to. Also, do metal to the animal. Why do you have to metal to them? Okay, if someone has an animal in the house, you're not let it out of the cage, goes back into the cage. Don't be metal to it.
Even taking it for a walk, you don't have to be metal to it.
No, also not.
By itself.
Walk by itself. That's the question. You put the leash.
How do you put
That's
the leash
total
on?
mixes.
How do you put the leash on?
Oh, no, you have to be careful. Yeah, not metal.
He said
the collar is on.
Balachayim, he says,
Mutter what? Tilted b'mixes. Right, that's tilted b'mixes. That's called tilted b'mixes.
Right. So
but to pick it up is also.
That might be how you put a collar on. You're only going to move the hair of the stick a little bit.
Yeah.
And usually you have to hold the animal.
Yeah, usually you have to hold the animal. And
no, the belt is already there. You just put the clip.
Say here, you know. How do you put it in?
There's no mile of having a dog. Take it that way. You get into issues.
Even if he's your best
Yet
friend.
in Europe,
Best friend, yes.
it was very common. Everybody had, I mean, we lived on, everybody had.
There's our farms, yeah, there are all types of animals. Yeah, in Europe it was very common. They had that cows, they had chickens, everything.
They had dogs.
They had dogs, yeah, they had everything. That was a different reason than we have it today. Okay, just every time we learn the halacha, I like to make a machal, because you see it all the time. So I'm not sure why. Okay. So that's the mechaber, and the Ramah says also. Look at Nun Zayin, the Mishnah Berurah Kram Nun Zayin. The also Heinrich Chain Bachutz, or Befnim Bayis God, the Shesh by Shir Tzeder, the Heinrich Shel Yochel HaHaslik B'Shchia Achas, Uchanal B'Reish HaSimen, the Pasuk HaKreim Cheshem Mazeh. The Magen Avram, the Ramah, argues in the Mechaber, and he says even though it's the Sechel Alecha, and even though it's Chayzer L'Kol V'Madait, still it's also to capture them on Shabbos. V'miyotzu or oifos l'chutz, and the Mishnah Berurah says we pass like the Yashayim, we pass like the Ramah. Now says the Mishnah Berurah, we have some coolers. V'miyotzu or oifos l'chutz, v'chaysh l'yigin v'oisan. Let's say you have birds and they went outside, and you chaysh people are going to steal them. The Ramah says it's also to trap them on Shabbos, even though they're chayzer l'kolvam. After also the types of ma'atzam v'yadayim v'kamokim. If kids go ahead and grab them and put them away, they don't have to be moich on the kids. You can even tell a goy to go ahead and capture them because it's a shvus to shvus. A goy being metaltal muktzah or a goy who's capturing them.
What? The Makom Hefsid?
So that's the question. What's the heter of shvus to shvus?
Unless it's the Makom Hefsid, which we've learned is not enough.
Yeah. The question is, what's the heter of shvus to shvus? That's a big question over here. For some reason, in this case, where the whole issur is a machlokes, and we're not going to say that you matter shvus to shvus Makom Hefsid like this. Stam is we're not matter it. Even the shvus to shvus is a question, because the mechaber holds it's mutter. According to the mechaber, it's mutter to capture them on Shabbos. So the Ramah's machmir, he says you can't capture them on Shabbos. If it's a shvus to shvus, we'll make it with the mechaber. That's what you have to learn over here.
So what's a shvus to shvus?
A guy doing a tzeder with also with the Rabbanan. Even according to the Ramah that says chazal l'cholvam is also to do tzeder, is only listed the Rabbanan. Right? If it's Moirid, if it rebels, so now it's say the Deraisa. We're talking about it doesn't rebel. It didn't rebel. It comes back at night. As long as it comes back at night, even according to the Ramah, it's only listed the Rabbanan. So here, this shvus to shvus that we'll make over here is not because we'll make a shvus to shvus, the makayim that you have a little hefset over here, there's a bird's going to fly away. That's not the heter. It can't be. It must be the heter here of shvus to shvus is because we'll rely on the mechaber who's making lechatchila to do it.
But that's very hard to understand because many halachas we have are, and we can list them, where you have a machlokes between the mechaber and the Ramah, and you don't see that you're ever going to use a sniff on bishul shvus to shvus at adam makam and say that the mechaber paskins that it's mutter, therefore we can now say
we try sometimes.
Really? Okay. We didn't cover all
I'm not saying
we've never come across such a thing where
I'm not sure what the klal is over
but there have been tons already of machlokes in between the mechaber and the Ramah that would have been an easy heter to use and say to tell them what to do. To do a shvus to shvus because we have a mechaber that says it's mutter. Never heard that. I mean,
I have a good point. I don't know what the klal is. I don't know if you always use it or not.
And I can't. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what the klal is.
Because here they seem to, and it's not.
Here's mutter.
Is the Mishnah we're talking about here that the katanim, if they're doing tiltul muktzah, that's when you shouldn't do.
It's mashma here even in tiltul muktzah.
Yeah. He's throwing in that in too. Like two issues that he's kind of being.
Correct. One's seder and one's
and the muktzah.
Yeah, one's muktzah.
Right.
Also because of that? So what's the klal?
Also because of that.
What's the
He's not
general
Mako.
klal? In general, you would never
With the
tell me.
muktzah issue, you can't say that there's a machlokas mechaber in the Ramah.
No,
that,
correct.
that part you cannot say that.
Correct. Muktzah, right. It's not Machlokes.
Yeah.
Right.
So now what?
Yeah, exactly. That makes it more difficult.
Yeah, it's hard to understand what the heter over here is. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure exactly what heter is. Chai Adam says it's mutter.
Because the general principle, you can't tell a child, right?
No, you have to work even.
Right?
You have to stop him even.
Right? So
Yeah.
The thing
You have to stop
that
a
people
child.
do that, where they'll say to a child, "Oh, turn on the light," or
No, that's
all
awesome.
these
It's
kinds of
awesome.
things,
It's also
right?
awesome.
All of
100%
these
awesome.
are.
100% awesome. So I'm not sure what heter. Maybe it's because of it's birds gonna fly away. There's a hefsid. I'm not sure what the tzirif of the heter is over here. And then it says even more, because of oid the mutav lamod b'fnei oif shelo yivrach they should merely yakol abayis. They're allowed to stand in front of it. They shouldn't run away. The male is going to go back into the house. Come heavy and magavam shem aguda the mutav litchais to push the oif me'achorav sheikaras abayis. If abayis godo she'en yafal asigo yisham b'shchia achas the ein karatei the gemur. So here you have in another heter. They'll push it into a room where it's a big room, where it's not Tzei the Gemurah, which would not matter in a regular case for Shabbos. Here will matter it. For some reason we have a lot of Haterim over here that we won't use in the regular case. It doesn't jump away from you. It sits down next to you. In that case, there's no issur say the bechlal. That's the other level we spoke about. An animal that even during the day you try to get a hold of it, it comes and it sits down next to you. So there is no issur say the bechlal.
But hold on, the third example was when you put it into a big room.
Right. It's also it's a drabanan.
That's an issur drabanan.
Right.
So
Also meichel. I'm not sure why.
No reason, right?
I'm not sure why. Here we have certain kulas.
So this would be applied nowadays to like a parrot, if you had a pet parrot.
Right.
They come to you, they land on you,
Correct.
play with you. They
don't jump away, so then you're there.
Like a dog, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. But a bird that flies around the house, and you want to get it into the cage, there's not so simple what the heter is. So see, look at the next Mishnah, another heter. Lotzur, Lefizi yesh l'zor shlo lechanes ha'oifos, l'hachnes ha'oifos b'Shabbos min habayis, sh'god lo mechutz l'tzeidah sham l'mokem ha'klov shalhem. Shasham mokem tzanim, which could say the Gemurah. A bird that flies around the house, but you can't get a hold of it, and now you're putting it into a cage, so now it's awesome. Yesh l'zor. Ve'im hu mischaven is only according to the Ramah. According to the Mechaber, it's mutter. Right, the Mechaber holds that if it's chazal l'chayil at night, it's mutter. Then he says, but imu mischaven l'hachnes ha'kloiv rakadesh l'yasu ha'zeikos ha'bayis efshur sheyesh l'hakol v'ayim be'alacha. Then they give a mako. If it's a bird flying around the house and it's doing damage, so then efshur sheyesh l'hakol. What's the kula over here?
It's another hefsid.
Hefsid. And what do we say, Mechan? The Mechaber again.
Yeah.
So because even the Ramah, we pass on out to the Ramah that it's usher to do this. We see here a lot of kulas that will go with the Mechaber, which are kulas which we wouldn't be Semicha on regular. We wouldn't be Semicha on such kulas in a regular case. Here, for some reason, we're Semicha on a lot of kulas to be makel to put the bird in the cage. You have a guinea pig, let's say, goes out of the cage. It's going to run around the house, maybe mazik. Or people may be scared to come into the house, so you want to get it back into the cage. So according to the Ramah, so if it's something that just comes to you anyway, you have to chase it, then it's zikr mutter. But if it's an animal, you have to chase it, doesn't come sit down next to you, then you'll have to come on to the kula of the Mishnah Berurah over here, that the mokum hezik, then I'll get it back into the cage.
Would you be allowed to yourself, be a dime, grab it and put it in the
No, you can't grab it. That's the muktzah. We're not asking the muktzah.
Children, if they do, you don't have to be
right. That's what it says.
Can you tell your children to do it?
Doesn't say it. It can't be. You have to be moichel. Tell them to do it something else. Doesn't say you can do that.
And why would this work? Oh, okay, because it's because of the mechaber. In other words, you can't.
Correct.
It doesn't get you around muktzah.
It doesn't get you around muktzah. Muktzah won't get you around.
You can't do the muktzah.
Right, you can't do the muktzah, but with Semicha on the mechaber, that's not called seder at all, you have a kula. For sure, if it's an animal, if you're not sure which category it goes under, is this an animal that comes to me easily, or I have to chase it?
So if the animal goes into its cage, you can lock the cage?
So that, it's the same mitzvah. The animal goes into the cage, you want to lock the cage, is also the same mitzvah. According to the Ramah, will be awesome, unless the Mokum has it. Locking the cage we saw before, it's called seder, even though you don't send it in. But you have a kula here, so you see that the Mishnah Berurah brings down a lot of kulas to this halacha. Even though we pass it like the Ramah, he brings down a lot of kulas. The question would really be, which is a very common question, is the Mokum Hezek, you're allowed to send it back into the cage, right? But of course, I'm sitting in Shabbos morning, and I want to let the animal out of the cage. I know I'm going to have to chase it back into the cage. So am I allowed to let it out of the cage to begin with?
So
the question is, why are you doing it? If you're doing it because the animal needs it, so maybe a tzar balachayim would be a heter. You know you're letting it out.
But the tzar balachayim is to let it out. It doesn't give you a heter to put it back in again.
Right, but the question is,
but now you have a heter.
Well, putting it back in.
No reason.
Right, putting it back in, I have a heter because it's a mazik. I don't want to run around the house.
I see.
But the question, am I allowed to put myself in that matzav of the chatchila?
Right.
When I let it out, then I know for sure that an hour from now I'm going to have to chase it back in and lock it up. So if you're letting it out because the animal needs it, it's tzar balachayim to keep it cooped up a whole Shabbos, maybe it doesn't have to. Also, every time, all these questions you have to ask your local rabbi.
Rebbe, what's the halacha?
Huh?
I said, Rebbe, what's the halacha? I can't find anybody more local and more good.
No, the big shadow is the birds. People let the birds out of the cage on Shabbos.
Yeah, but they go back into the cages automatically.
Yeah, but they can't lock the door. Locking the door is a problem.
You don't need to lock it. They stay inside because they are, the food and the water is there.
Yeah, okay.
You don't need to lock it. At least I had a bird that I never locked it.
Okay, so the Moshe Zvayt have a part of the source for Kolshkin Shar Chayev Oif Shemordu Im Sodan Chayev Chatas. Part of the source, which those are animals, you'll see soon in the Mishnah Berurah, those are animals that usually there's no chiv tzed at all. A part of the sus are animals that never run away from you. If you own them, the cow stays around. You have to go catch it. So this is the level that we spoke about, that an animal that doesn't run away from you, there's no issue to say the b'chlal. But if it's one of them that was moirid, that rebelled, im sadar chayev chatas v'chein ikar te chayev chatas. Chatul dinoi kashar chayev v'oslo teifse b'Shabbos. Even a cat is a din that's also to capture on Shabbos. I don't know if you can say the same halacha about the cats in Yerushalayim because they don't run away.
No, they're starving.
They stay.
What about a house cat? A house cat doesn't.
No, a house cat is a pet. It's mutter. A house cat is.
Talking about feral cats.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. A house cat is there's nothing more that you can say about it that it comes to you.
Yeah.
House cat lachar is mutter.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So we look at the Mishnah Berurah Seif Kar Mentet. So part of the source perish. So part of the source shehem minei behemois lo shayach psei the klal afilu midrabanan. So here's where he says it, straight out the Mishnah Berurah. This level that we don't find really in the Mechaber the Ramah. It's a level that everyone agrees, even the Ramah agrees that it's mutar lechatchila letzaydan. Afilu kano oisam echadash v'adayin lehergelu lava lebeisai. Even if you bought a new one and it's not accustomed to coming back to the house, they're not meant to run away from people. They don't. Horses and cows stay with the people. And you're allowed to lock them up in a smaller area because they're called Litzudim V'Oimdim. They usually jump away from people, even though you don't need a mitzuda, a trap to capture him. He avoyim me'atman lebeisam le'erev. This is the Ramah, Mechamokaim, Yeshboy, Isser, Seder, Drabanon. This is Seder, Drabanon. So this is the chilik of the Mishnah Berurah. Any animal that we have in the house today, Kamat, most of them come to you, they stay with you, they don't run away. So even according to the Ramah's case, there won't be an Isser, Seder.
So all of these animals fit into this category: dog, cat.
All animals that we have today in our house, all pets that we have.
Your bunny.
Yeah, in a bunny in the house. The comes to you. Don't you have to chase it? I'm not sure the Messias is.
No.
So what if the animal is comfortable with the owner but not anybody else?
Oh, good question. Let's speak about. So the person speak about this. We have an animal that to you it's going to come to, but a stranger will run away from. It's very common.
Yeah, but
so for a stranger, it's called Seder. For a stranger, it's called Seder. For you, it's not called Seder. A stranger wants to go ahead and get it. For him, it's called Seder. For you, it's not called Seder. And that could be Seder Deraisa. That could be Seder Deraisa. And the question they ask is, if that's the case, so we said before, the Akabut's Mutter. Right, those animals that are in your house that are awesome with the Rabbanon according to the Ramah, Chazal Manait, it's awesome with the Rabbanon. Sorry, the Akum is mutter. Why is the mutter the Akum? The Akum, they have done like they were moirid, because they're going to run away from the guy. Right, the Akum, the halacha is, there's three levels there. One level is if it's moirid, it's like a regular animal which is never domesticated, and you're not allowed to catch it on Shabbos. It's the right of the catch it on Shabbos. The next level is Chazal L'Chazal Manait. Then the Machlekes Mechaber and the Ramah. The third level is that it stays with you, and even the Ramah is makel that it's mutter. So we just said now that if it's an animal that for you it stays by, but someone else it runs away from, so for that person it's a deraisa to capture it. So how can I tell a guy to go ahead and capture an animal for me? That's Chazal L'Kolvam, from the goy, it's going to run away.
But maybe the nafkamina is a goy, it's like, a goy is an extension of you, so what you can't do, no, but for the goy, it's a deraisa. Right, it will come out.
Maybe this last Mishnah that we just read, he's talking about what kind of animals they are. He's talking about a house pet, like a cat and a dog?
Which one?
No, he's talking about cows and dogs. Wait,
no, it's a Bechlal? Sief got them test?
We just read it.
No, that's not a dog. That's a.
What would that be? Horse?
That's no, that's like a bird, let's say, which you have to chase it. B'shar chayev ha'oif, sheb'shus ha'shusum shamat midei adam. It jumps away from you. That's the machlokes, the Mechaber and the Ramah.
Yeah. Maybe or something like that.
Something that runs away from you. You have to chase it to get it. But something that's not the shaman the adam, that's just big nafkamin. It's very negeya. This chiluk. An animal that's not shaman with the adam, it comes to you. There's no one to say to the kuliyam. The whole machlekes and Mechaber and the Ramah is that middle level of an animal that jumps away from you.
So a pet like a dog that's really with you, that kind of animal, if you put in a cage and even locked it, there wouldn't be.
No, it's a No,
none of them.
No, it's
this kind of animal, like a rabbit,
that's machlekes Mechaber and the Ramah. It's Chazal L'Kolvam. Right, it's Chazal L'Kolvam. So there it's only Nisser the Rabbanon according to the Ramah. According to Mechaber, it's mutter.
Moirid is the third category.
Yeah, moirid is a regular. It's like a regular any animal, a new animal. But
it sounds like the chayz from the kolvan is a moirid during the day.
So that's a machlokes Mechaber and the Ramah.
Right?
That's called during the day.
During the day, it's behaving like a moirid. It's not.
During the day, it's behaving like a moirid. Right. So the Ramah says, I mean, if you want to go into the loftus part, the machlokes, the Ramah says that during the day it's a moirid right now. You can't get it.
Right.
And the Mechaber holds no. Since if you want to wait till night to be able to get it, it's Chazal L'Kolvam. Therefore, it's not called.
So that's what it is. It's a moirid during the day.
Yeah, it is a moirid during the day. So that's what I was saying before. That if a guy wants to go ahead and do it for you, right? So for him, the animals will run away from him. So why is it mutter? Why is it mutter? From the guy, it's going to run away. From the guy to say the deraisa.
Right.
The answer is that no. Chayzel l'kalvam at night. You have even by the guy. It's going to go. It's going to go to the kalvam at night. It's going anyway at night. It's going to go to the cage. During the day, guy wants to catch it. It's going to run away from the guy. Is that a deraisa? Also not. Because you don't need the guy. I need the guy for now, for this hour, because it's going to run away. Even from me, it's going to run away. But at night, it's going on the kolvam, and I'll have it if I want. The guy who's capturing it by day is also only listed in the Rabbanon. Even though it's going to run away from the guy, because the guy's not different than you. At night, it's going to go. It's Semicha in the kolvam. Fine. I think that's all for Tzeder. I'm mistaken. Yeah, that's all I have to know for Tzeder.
Tam v'nishma.
Tam v'nishma Tzeder.
We're going to do Peter Vanova next?
Yeah. Early dismissal today, okay. I'd like to do Shin Zayin next week, yeah. Shin Zayin Shival, it's a little complicated, but I don't should see the Mishnah has Akdama to Shin Zayin. Very Shmak Akdama. It makes it clear 3 different levels of kosher, what the Isser kosher is. I'd like to do Sif Aleph next week. I'll send out the sheets.
A sheet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously uses the sheets? Tell uses the sheets at all? Or? Yeah, I'll send them out.
Yeah.
The plan is to finish Shin Zayin before the summer.
What is the summer?
After Tisha B'Av. We have 3 weeks left.
3 weeks start next week.
3 weeks from next week.
2 next week.
Yeah, no, next week is Judah.
Shabbos with Hamad, we have 2 other weeks before Tisha B'Av, right?
Right.
Tisha B'Av we're not going to have share, and then it's the summer.
Shabbos B'Tam is next Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday we won't share.
Sunday we're not share.
No muffin.
What? No muffin.
Yeah, no water here. Let's figure it out. But now we should be able to finish Shin Zayin in 3 weeks. And then we'll we start with this Shin Ches already. We Shin Ches till the end. We did a lot.
We did. So we went to Chopay.
We went to Chopay. So we'll probably do, I guess, Elazar will start with 4. Elazar will start Shin Chav Zayin, Shin Chav Ches.